Welcome to Fieldtrip. This is a trip down memory lane. We'll be sharing some fun stories and illustrating them at the same time. So let's go on a field trip. I want to do a quick shout out to thank the Ghost Beat for our soundtrack for our field trip stories. So everybody in my family from my mom and dad's side all live in Savannah, Georgia. And when we were younger, we would go and visit my grandparents. Both sides lived on the creek, but my mom's side, he had a great view from the back of the house, also to the dock, where you can see way for miles out, pretty much close to the Atlantic Ocean. And we would used to, as kids, just watch all the big container and tanker ships come in and bring in all their cargo, because Savannah has one of the biggest ports in our country. And so just as a kid, seeing these massive ships just coming in is just a really cool thing. And if you went down to my grandfather's dock at the creek, it's pretty cool. We learned how to fish down there, learned how to grab a live shrimp out of the bait box from the back of the dock and put them on a fish hook. It was just a bunch of cool little things to learn as a kid. And the water was really dark, like a dark brown. You can barely see, anything in that water, no visibility at all. But also one of the things about this is my parents and grandparents wanted to make sure we knew how to swim, because every time we went down there, they had to put a life jacket on us. And, eventually you got to learn how to swim. And so I think my parents thought they would teach us the way they were taught. And so one day we went down to the dock, me, my brother, and my sister. They put life jackets on us and just told us they're going to toss us in and and tie a rope to us and just through that experience, hope we would learn how to swim, and just told us the one rule is don't get stuck under the dock or the neighbor's dock. And it's already dark, scary water, but just the thought of getting stuck under a dock is also very petrifying. And the other thing is, every once in a while you would know that there would be an alligator out in the water, or a lot of times we see dolphins and porpoises, and we've caught a lot of fish fishing off of there. So just all that in mind as we're being tossed into this water with a rope tied around our waist and a life jacket. And I know for me, I don't know about my brother or sister, because I think I was too scared to look at them, besides screaming, was, I stayed in a fetal position. I bobbed up and down and floated in the water, just hoping nothing would touch my toes or my feet. And I was afraid to even put my feet down, thinking I would touch the muddy bottom or get seaweed on my feet, just, that gross, unknown feeling. But they tossed us out there, and we eventually learned how to kick and paddle with our arms as fast as we could to get back to that dock. But the other thing, there was no ladder to climb out, so we had to depend on the people on the dock to pull us out once we got there. So just, them laughing and enjoying us learning to swim and struggle out there was quite a sight. And then we're also looking to the side over at the marsh, because, if at the marsh, it's very muddy and nasty, and that's where all the fiddler crabs would. And so that's another, am I going to get attacked by fiddler crabs, or is it an alligator to climb out and get us? But it was just this memory that I never forget, especially when we go to the beach and the water's really dark. I just remember being tossed out in this water and, hoping to learn how to swim back and swim to safety. And I definitely have not done this to my kids. I've not continued this tradition on learning to swim this way, but I can handle some water now. I can handle being thrown in and swimming, but even to this day, I just remember that experience, and it was very crazy. But I just thought, for my first story on Field Trip, I thought I'd share how I learned how to swim in Savannah in the creek.